Hey, welcome to the Mike After Dark episode, special Thursday night episode. Hey, we do this show every so often. Throw it at you, come in sideways. Hey, it's After Dark. Tonight we're going to be talking politics across the state of Tennessee. What's going on in Nashville, what we project to go on in Nashville, and what's going on here locally. I've got a great bunch of guests in here tonight that's going to be talking with me, and I think we'll be friends when it's over. It is after dark. Who knows?
That's right.
All right. I got State Representative Jay Reedy. Welcome to the show, Jay.
I appreciate this.
I have got the Tennessee chairman of the Tennessee Republican Party, Scott Golden. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I've also got the lovely state committeewoman from District 24, Tess Robbins. Welcome, Tess.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fine. You okay?
Yes.
You've been nervous.
She's not nervous. Come on.
I should be the one that's nervous. She's my boss, so I'm the one that's on trial here. So
Well, we all nervous, right? Do I look nervous?
after dark. It's after dark.
It's after dark. It don't matter. Jay, you're our state representative in this area.
Yes, sir.
We're kind of split up a little bit, but you're a majority of the, I believe, of Henry County.
It's actually, I have a third of Henry
Really?
County.
I thought it was more.
So it's made up of 33,000 people, but I only have 10,000 of my constituents come from Henry County.
Wow.
So Tandy Darby's got the other part. Now, I lean heavy on Tandy Darby, and the reason is I've got 5 counties.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Help me, Tandy.
And, you know, when I was a state representative in Montgomery County, I made fun of the other 2 state reps there. I said, you only answer to 1 county mayor. And I said, I've got 3, but now I got 5, you know. So, but it's all been great.
What's going on in Nashville? Y'all think y'all in session?
No, we're not in session. It'll start in January.
Right.
So a lot of the people watching social media, on the news, all of that, the hot buttons, flock cameras, data centers. The Speaker of the House is talking about a special session to cap property taxes. Property taxes is a huge issue.
It
was
is a
last
big
year.
issue.
And so with that, we'll have Jason Zachary, state representative out of Knox County, is already working on legislation for flock cameras.
Let me in on a little. What do you think it's headed to? They going to outlaw them, regulate them?
I think if we're going to keep them, we need heavy regulations, because there's some police officers sitting in jail
There's been
now.
some shady shit going on.
That's exactly right. So, not
Let's
sure.
just do away with them.
But I think that's right. And people talk to me about the red light cameras, speeding cameras.
I don't pay them anyway.
I don't either. And I tell people, I said, look on the back of the bill. It doesn't go against your record or anything. You can be used in a court of law. And Andy Holt, who's now the commissioner of Ag, we sat together on the Ag committee the whole time he was serving.
He's been in here.
And so we've had this conversation, and I'd get tickled because every time he'd get one, here he'd do a video, and he's burning it in a trash can. I was like, so
it's
my
money.
kids get them,
Let me ask you: does the county doesn't, or the city doesn't get half of that? They only get a small percent of it.
I'm not sure.
I read, I could be wrong.
The percentages, the company comes in there, sets them up, and I always thought it was half. Well, the city of Clarksville, you're going to get half, but we're going to keep half too.
Yeah.
But Mike, if I borrow your truck and I get one of those tickets, and it goes on you, they can't. It's like, how's that constitutional at all? Because
I don't
should
pay
have been
them.
me.
I mean, I don't pay them. I always said that you've got the right to look your accuser in the eye in a court of law, and you can't do it when it's a damn camera.
And that's right. And I mean, part of the other argument is with those flock cameras catching criminals, I get that. But should there be a warrant that gets a judge signs off on before we activate all the flock cameras looking for a certain white vehicle or whatever color it is or something like that? It's going to be a good conversation.
We need it.
We'll just stay tuned and follow.
I'm curious about that. I have mixed feelings. I think if one of my grandchildren got kidnapped and they found it with a flock camera, sure, you're going to be all for them. But if one of the police officers thinks you're messing with his wife and he uses the flock cameras to track you down, that's not right. So there's got to be middle ground, Jay.
And it's got to pass both the House and Senate. So there's going to be some lengthy conversation. But let me give a quick history lesson, if you will, about why we're here tonight as far as Democrats, Republicans, independents. Now think about this as 1796, formation of the state of Tennessee. Where did we get our Constitution? And I believe it was Virginia and Pennsylvania. We were looking at that, and it was President George Washington. He finally signed off, said, we're going to make it so. Then we come to the formation of Houston County, a little 8,000 people county now, and they took property from Dixon, Stewart, and Humphreys to create in 1871 Houston County, because if it took you more than a day to ride a buckboard or a horse to get to a county seat, there was the formation, 1871. Kind of think about that for a minute. Well, with the lawsuits going on and our state being run by Democrats, well, guess who was the first state representative for Houston County? Well, it was Austin Peay. He was a state representative out of Montgomery County before he became governor. Now, as a governor, when he finally showed up as governor, we were in financial dire straits, in the state of Tennessee. So he figured that out. But keep in mind, and I'm not bragging or I'm not complaining, but in Houston County was always owned by the Democrats, and through Reconstruction after Abraham Lincoln. I was the first Republican ever elected there. They didn't even vote for Ronald Reagan. So when you start talking politics and start meeting people at their needs, whatever it is, and we were talking earlier off the air, it was about what kind of support we do have out of Democrats. And this recent elections nationwide going on, we're seeing these socialist Democrats getting elected to office. Then we go through and then we look at, I always go back in time. I mean, we all have history. So when we first, you and I are about the same age. So the first president we voted for was Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
Okay. So after that, it was George Bush, and then George Bush kind of did a 180 after that administration, and people were disenfranchised. And so this guy, Ross Perot, brilliant money guy, finance guy, everything else, it's everything about him. He comes on the scene. Well, the disgruntled Republicans, what did we do? Let's go with Ross Perot. Now, Reagan was years before that was told, you need to run for president as an independent. Reagan was smart enough. He's like, well, an independent will never win. Well, hey, we saw it play out in cards, and then we got the Clintons, right?
Do you think that when Ross Perot backed out and come back on, you think that hurt his chances?
I still believe what Ronald Reagan said. It's an independent.
I'll give you that, but I think when Ross Perot seen he could possibly win that election, remember he bailed out. Y'all remember?
He quit.
He quit. He quit. Then he come back, and then you can't win that way.
Well, and it's a big thing where we vacillate, and we've seen that with other presidents in the past.
Yeah, well,
Theodore Roosevelt. What
one more question? Data centers before we get on our subject. We skip data centers. State of Tennessee should do something. The counties should not, because the only way we can do it in Henry County is if we do some zoning, and I'm against zoning 100%.
Oh, that's
I
don't
want no
counties
zoning.
still don't have.
No, we don't want it here neither. And that's the only way you can do it. They claim they call it a different term, but it's like we said in a debate when I had the mayors here. It's still zoning. I think that the state, your job.
That's right. And an example, and it was years ago, Cameron Sexton was just a state representative. He wasn't Speaker of the House at the time. In front of the Ag Committee, he brought a bill concerning windmills, wind generators.
Yeah.
And when he brought that, there was an amendment filed to that, and I moved that we hold it on the table for a week. Let the committee members look at it. But that's going to be similar to data centers, that when you don't have zoning, but you lease out your farm for these wind generators to go up, the folks that are liable when they fall apart or they cease to operate goes back to the owners and not you having to clean that up. Yeah. Well, it's going to be the same thing. And recently, TVA just said, we're going to up
10%.
Up the cost of electricity
10%,
if you put in a data center. And I'm like, okay, well, at the end of the day, if a data center running, who pays their bills? And it's me, you, as folks using it. So
we've already got data centers.
Passing on.
Parish has got 2. Henry County's got 2.
Google's
3.
Got one in Clarksville.
Yeah, we got them.
But there's some misleading information, and still we'll flesh that out come January.
China's a lot of misinformation come out of China. I don't think people realize that. But China don't want America getting ahead in AI. We've had AI. Your banks use AI. these what they call it, Bitcoin. We got one in Bitcoin mines here. It's data. You got another one, data center. We've got them all over, and even your banks have data centers. The BPU here in Paris, your electric company, they got a mini data center. So we need to look at what the word data center means.
That's right. We have to define it, and then we define how we regulate it. And it was a lot of other states, and in Tennessee, there's some House members looking at that too.
Yeah.
If you're going to put in a data center, you create your own electricity to run that. And then the second thing is, well, they cool down. Well, is it a closed loop or open loop system?
Nobody open loop. It's all closed loop mostly. And a lot of it, I've been experimenting because they've been wanting me to do shows.
Well, let's explain what closed loop means.
It's like a radiator on your car.
That's right. It's coming in.
Got a cap on it.
But if it was open loop, that would be you're pouring antifreeze in one end and it's dumping it on the ground on the other.
Not necessarily, Jay. What they did, they put cooling towers in, and they open loop was they took the water, it pumped up on them old towers, and it cooled off in the atmosphere, and it come right back down. It didn't really run into your creek, but most of it is done with Freon.
They had to do it with chemicals in that, and it's forever chemicals. Like I said, it's going to be a lengthy conversation.
It's very lengthy. We could get into more right now.
I heard on national news, it's a lot of folks are deciding they think it was a basically get-rich-quick scheme, and we could put in these data centers, and so a lot of folks are pulling out across the state saying, "Oh." But
we all agree that I think China's giving misinformation. We need to cut through all that fog and really shine a light on it.
Not to over talk you, but you ever read the book 100-Year War?
No, I haven't.
And it's talking about China, so it's put that on your to-do list to read, and without firing a shot, China wants to take over our economy and every economy, around the world. But they don't want to go to war to get it, but stealing intellectual.
They've done that forever.
So all of that 100-Year war is like.
They so open about it, Jay. If you put a company in China, you got to share it with them before you can put your factory there.
Brother, let me
you got to tell them
you.
all about what you're doing, and the next thing you know. What is that? Timu has got one of them out just like.
Oh, yeah. Well, keep in mind for 4 years I worked on legislation to stop China from buying property in Tennessee.
I don't like that.
So I'm steeped in that conversation.
But there again, I argue on the point they can't take it with them. We throw them out. We got their money. They can't pack the land up and carry it back to China with them.
No.
That's a good thing about it.
Well, we're talking about water out west and buying up farmland, growing food, and sending it back.
I got an idea before we get on this show. I know how to
moving
fix
right along.
I know how to fix the data centers.
Tell me.
100% easy fix. Put them in the desert. We've got military bases there. We was all trained on some of them out there in the middle of the desert, right? You put your infrastructure. There's no farming. There's no people. There's nothing out there. Area 51 is out in the middle of the desert. Put them in the desert. Build your own infrastructure.
But you know who makes that decision?
Yeah,
the people that's going to spend the money to put them out
but
in
if
the
we
desert.
mandate it, they have to. There's a lot of we're mandated. I'm an auto repair guy, and some of the crazy stuff. I found out why cars are so hard to work on. Do you understand why they are? So much technology in it and all this engineering. You know what it is?
Tell me.
Well, an engineer caught his wife messing with a mechanic.
Oh, no.
And he never got over it.
Okay, Tess, what do you want to talk about?
That's the After Dark section of this, by the way.
But y'all think about it.
Seriously, folks, we have not been drinking. So.
No, we're not. We just got the evidence up here. That's all we got, Jay. I appreciate it, brother. But I swear I'll get to you in a minute, Tess. But I'm going to let you sit over here and soak all this in. Scott, my friend, what's going on in the Republican Party across the state? What is it? What's the bloodline feel like?
Well, I mean, as everybody knows, I guess everybody's probably happy that most of the yard signs have been picked up. If you see a yard sign out there of somebody that didn't win the primary, do us a favor and grab it.
That's right.
So primaries are over August 6th, and congratulations to all our candidates. We're thrilled.
Yeah.
All the local races are over, so that was a lot.
We got city races coming up here in Paris.
Do have city races.
Right.
Now, they're nonpartisan.
That's right.
So sometimes that gets a little you get a lot of questions. I know Tess and I do about what they stand and and all of those types of things. And I know there's been potentially legislation to kind of help clarify that a little bit. But as it is now, you still cannot run as a Republican or Democrat for city office. But all the counties are done, and my Facebook feed was filled up today with, I guess, a lot of them were getting sworn in. I kind of thought it was September 1st. But
I did too.
But a lot of county commissions, a lot of mayors, a lot of people being re-up for 4 years. And
wow, I thought it was September 1st.
My Facebook was just filled with this county, that county, new mayors taking, new sheriffs. I know Tess and I worked a lot throughout District 24 on a lot of new ones. New sheriff in Gibson County, new sheriff in Carroll County. I'm trying to think, Tess, of all the ones that are out there, but it was all total right around 2,000 candidates sought office as Republicans across the state of Tennessee. Counties that had never done it before, Dixon being one. Republican sheriff of Dixon, Republican sheriff or mayor of Dixon, first time since Reconstruction that happened. New Republican mayor of Houston County, which is a county that voted for Barack Obama in 2008, by the way. So we're talking. Right. You go back to your 1871.
95 counties in Tennessee. How many of them are Republican mayors? Would you say? Do you know that number?
I off the top of my head, it's now close to 70.
Wow.
And there were we had 89 counties that chose to run, thanks to Representative Reedy. One of the things that they did this time around that I know that we'll encourage to do next time around is that the state paid for the local election for the first time. And so that was a $8 million expenditure. I thank the legislature for making that a priority.
That's great.
And so we had 89 of 95 counties that held May primaries that ended up, electing their county government and on August 6th. So, so great move by the legislature. We saw more participation, and from a Republican Party perspective, we saw more Republicans that have ever been elected.
Right.
So great night. There were places where. We were talking a little earlier about there were some county commission seats and school board seats that the Democrats won.
Yeah.
So it's a reminder that we don't get to take our feet off the gas. So
That's right.
Just because it's over, but it was a good day. So we're moving on to November, and so those 2,000 candidates kind of go down to about 200 candidates.
That's right.
Makes your job easier.
It's a lot. Well, there's less of them, but they are a lot more intense. Governor, senator, congressional, state reps, state senate. It is. So that's the next phase of what we do, which is 68 days, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's getting close.
It's getting close. So
this year's moving along.
It is really moving along. So
Tess, you are the state Republican state committeewoman, District 24.
Yes.
So what's going on in your world?
Well, I have 8 counties. From Gibson County, O'Brien County, Weakley County, Carroll County, Stewart County, Houston County, Benton County. Did I miss one?
Henry.
Well, and Henry County.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like how y'all say Houston County.
Houston.
But what's going on in the local Republican Party? Everything good and solid, or you see any cracks, or what's going on?
Well, it's like this with all of the counties. You know, you've got to we all have room for improvement, and we'll sit back. We'll unite the party, and after a primary and a Republican, some voted for some voted for somebody else. Right. But at the end of the day, now we have only one choice.
You think they're all going to unite back together?
Well, some will, some won't.
That's
but we'll keep going and keep pushing and. In all the counties, there's drama in some, and more in others, but we'll just keep getting a Republicans.
You have a hard job.
It is hard.
It is a hard job.
It is hard.
And being a female on top of that.
Well, I've got a lot of people that support. We've got a lot of volunteers and supporters, and I appreciate every one of them. I can call them, and they're there every chance they can, and we had a big dinner that we paid for a couple of weeks ago, or the day before early voting, and we paid for it out of our own pocket here.
That's
now
great.
We did get some donations from people, but we took on the responsibility just so that our Republicans could listen to the candidates. That's important.
Let me ask y'all a question. I got 3 smart people in the room, and then me.
Mike, could we do one thing first?
Yes.
Explain to us, SEC, what you do, because there's an SEC woman as well as a man.
Yes, I have a counterpart that is Ryan Elligood, and he helps me. It's not something I do by myself, and I'm really blessed with him because we get along very well. We never disagree. If we do, we do it on a phone call, or we work it out and come to a happy meeting.
You not agreeing with everybody? That's hard to believe.
Well, I try to. I am.
That's a joke.
I know, but I am a Republican, and I'm very honored to be a Republican. Some people want to say they're Republican, and then they want to support someone that's not a Republican. But we have one of the best guiding principles in the state of Tennessee that, to me, the other states are probably envious of it. It's as conservative as you can get, and and it comes down to the voters and who they vote for. If you don't like something a legislator does, well, the voters voted them in.
That's right.
So with that, it's
hold on. Let me say one thing.
Working with
we
Scott
had Rick
Golden.
Williams he's a political strategist, was going to be here tonight. I was going to get to that here, and before they all start talking, but he got too quick. That's okay. Rick's under the weather,
Rapid fire.
and we're going to have another episode and get him in here because he's pretty sharp on these politics. He was kind of going to be the one that kept me in check and answer some of my questions, but he's under the weather. Rick, hope you get to feeling better, and I'll have you back in. Now, go ahead.
So I was going to answer
Go ahead.
Representative Reedy. He asked the question about the State Executive Committee, which is SEC, which is tough in the South because this weekend SEC's going.
I got you.
So it's the State Executive Committee, and so Tess is one of the 66 members. 1972, the General Assembly created both the governing bodies of the Democrat and Republican Party, and there was a man and woman that is elected in August for each of the 33 state Senate districts. So that's how you get the governing boards of both the Democrat and the Republican Party. Right. So the part that Tess didn't say is that she runs on the ballot and she is a non-paid volunteer. Every nickel that she spends, I like to tell people that it's the only position on the ballot that you vote for that costs money. And that we hit them for $100 the day they get elected. And so you're obviously running up and down between Houston County and Obion County and Gibson County. You're spending your own gas money. You're spending a lot of late night. It's a volunteer. And so you vote for them on the ballot. And again, but that's how we get to the governing board in December. Ultimately, both the Republican and the Democrat state executive committees vote. Their first act is to vote in the officers, which include the chairman. So that's why I say she's my boss.
Let's move on quickly. Because any of y'all politicians answer a question quickly, or y'all have to just drag it out for 30 minutes. That's a joke, right, Jay? Don't
Well, a lot of times I just said I don't.
They were talking together. Say I knew whatever.
I don't have an answer, but I'll get I'll get it for you.
All right, I'm going to start with you. Do you know the difference, and explain to me the difference between a Republican candidate and a Republican voter?
Well, to me, in other words,
your opinion.
I had to be bona fide as a Republican to run under the Republican or on the Republican ticket, and then it started with the SEC. The SEC would go and look at my voting records, not necessarily how I was voting, but was I showing up at every Republican primary, pulling the Republican lever every time I went in to vote. So every time that there was a primary, they look at Jay Reedy like, yeah, he's bona fide. If there's an election going on, Republican Jay Reedy is going to be there voting.
So explain to me the difference. Yeah. Let me back up and tell you a little history. There's been a conflict, especially in Henry County. Well, I don't guess I could be a Republican, even though I voted Republican all my life. And I say, well, there is a difference between a Republican voter and a Republican candidate.
So, interestingly, it goes right back to that 1972 law. This is all the post-Nixon reforms that were happening. And TCA code, there is one TCA code that says the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, you are to create the bona fides or the qualifications for your candidates. So we are required by law to say this is what it means to be a Republican candidate.
Right.
Now, in that same law, the one that you will see when you walk in and vote, the TCA code, it says if you are voting in this primary, because Tennessee is a non-party registration state right now, may change in the future, but right now, that what you signed at the poll, that said that you were a bona fide Republican and you align with the party that you're voting in, that makes you a Republican voter.
Right.
So that's not the standard for a bona fide candidate. So the state requires the parties to develop their own qualifications for the candidates. And then the state says, in that same law, 1972, they say, hey, if you're voting in this primary, you have to align with the party that you're voting in. You have to be always faithful to the party that you're voting in.
Well, that's just...
So that's two. So unfortunately, state law actually uses the word bona fide in both cases.
Right.
But
that's misleading.
Well, it is. I mean,
because you could sign that you're a bona fide Republican to
right.
vote in a Republican primary.
Absolutely.
Nobody questions you.
That is correct.
But when I come to be a Republican candidate, just say
That's
me,
right.
Mike Weatherford, I want to run for president, and I want to run as a Republican.
Yes, sir.
Maybe a Tess can answer this, or I'm going to let you start and let her finish. What would I have to do to be a bona fide Republican?
So there are...
As a candidate. We're talking about candidate. We don't discuss voter. Now let's go to candidate.
So there are 5 things that I tell people that are in our bylaws, which you can find if you Google Tennessee Republican Party bylaws. There are 5 things. First thing we want you to be is voting. And we look at primary vote history, right? So November, we don't know who you vote for.
Right.
You know,
August primaries.
August primaries and March presidential.
Well, let me butt in. When you're voting for your nominee for your party, people, you're voting for Republican or you're voting for Democrat. When you go in there and they say, do you want to vote Republican, Democrat, or Independent? Well, this time they had it general, they called it.
General.
Now, that's what he's talking about. That's when they know what you voted a Republican or voted Democrat or know if you voted general. Now, we're in November coming up, you don't have to ask. You just go in there and you just give them your paperwork and you just go in there and pull the plug who you want. Now, go ahead, Scott. I want to make sure people understood that. That's where the confusion is. They don't understand that.
So we want people voting in August and in March in the presidential election.
Right.
That's what we look at because we don't know how you vote in November.
Right.
So to be a candidate, not to be a voter, but to be a candidate, we say we would like for you to be, need you to be 3 out of 4. We want
or have to be.
Well, you have to be.
All right, go on.
There is a little bit of escape clause
I understand
Tess is
that,
involved
but
in.
I understand. Go ahead.
But yes, what we want to be crystal clean is 3 out of 4.
Last 3 or just 3 out of 4?
3 out of the last 4.
The last 3 out of the last 4?
3. So we only go back 4 elections.
Yeah, but what if I voted the fourth one back? I voted Republican. This last one I voted Democrat.
So we have that's the second one is you cannot be a Republican candidate if you voted in one of those 4 Democrat elections.
One of the 4. Okay,
so
it doesn't matter which one. Just one of the 4. Okay.
If you supported Ned Ray McWhirter in 1986, we are not holding that against you. Right. So we're only going back, and after August elections, we're only going back to July. I mean, I'm sorry, to 2022.
But let me butt in a minute. Keep your thought, please.
Yes,
but I do want to ask this question. That's kind of confusing. Why are you saying 3 out of 4? Why just say the last 4 elections you had to vote Republican? You're saying 3 out of 4, but if I voted, let's just use years as easy. 2000, 2010, and 2020, I voted Republican.
Right.
In 2030, I voted Democrat. 3 out of 4, I did vote Republican. Why can't I run as Republican?
So our bylaws define it's the last 4 primary elections where you have the opportunity. So what we want out of Republican candidates is for there to be fidelity to the organization that you're running in.
Gotcha.
Right?
I understand that, but people confuse.
That's like saying I want to be a deacon of the church, but I never come to church except for every other Christmas.
Or a Mason or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Right. You can't.
But I'm doing this for the people that don't quite understand.
I agree.
But what I want to just get it simple, very simple.
So 3 out of the last 4.
Right. Go ahead.
Don't vote Democrat. That's one thing.
Gotcha.
We want you to be active, right? So we want you to support the organization that you are wanting to be a part of as a candidate.
Local Republican Party.
That's local, state, local or state. Really.
What does that mean?
So that means showing up at meetings. That means writing checks. We actually added that a couple of years ago. Tess was on it because we know people are busy and you don't have time to go to a meeting on a Tuesday night or whatever. So you can say, look, I'm going to throw a little bit in the pocket.
Or can you give it to a Republican candidate?
And we added that in
Right.
2023.
Okay, you're making
where
it
we
easier.
said,
The
yes,
bar,
yeah.
the bar from his table up is about a foot tall. So
Well,
far.
I mean, if you want to
could
support
step over it.
Representative Reedy and you
Yep.
say, look, I can't go out and knock doors for you, that would count.
Mm-hmm.
They said, look, I don't have time. Here's $100. I'm for you. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for service. And for us, you would just say, this is what I've done to
Right.
be active.
But you would back it up by Jay saying, yes, he did.
Correct.
right.
That's right.
Gotcha. Okay, now go ahead. I'm with you so far.
All right. So you're voting 3 out of 4. You're not voting Democrat.
Right.
You're participating in the organization that
Gotcha.
you want to. And the other one is, I know it's don't sue us, by the way. We would appreciate you not suing. Actually, you can sue us, but you can't lose. so if you sue us and win, you're still good.
Who
But-
would you sue the Republican Party for?
yeah, well, we've been through that before, where we've had candidates that don't like whatever result it is,
Oh,
and then
Jesus Christ, man.
they've sued the organization that they want to be a part of. And
That's
Tess, what's
kind
the
of like a
last one?
divorce.
Well, you have to. You can't support a non-Republican either.
Well, that's active. That's
yeah,
active.
that's active.
What's
you
that
know.
mean?
You can't support a non-Republican. And
So if I'm a Republican and Jay Reedy's running as a Democrat or independent, let's say
sure.
independent, and I put a sign in my yard for Jay, I cannot run for Republican.
it's not you're not loyal to the party.
You would be challenged.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and obviously, yeah, right. So it'd be no different than saying, well, I'm a Republican, but I want Kamala Harris to win president.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what would you, if you show back up and said, well, I was a big Kamala person, but I sure would like to run against Jay as a Republican.
I got you, but are we trying to bring in people that's as a Republican? I'm
We
not
are.
saying I am a Republican. I'm
We
just
are.
saying, okay, are we going to have to
But-
forgive some stuff?
4 years. That's the key, right?
got you.
So
you.
that's what we want to kind of look. I mean, like I say, I use a faith example a lot, and it's we want you to go to church, we want you to
Sure.
participate, but just because you're a member of the church doesn't mean you get to preach on
That's
Sundays,
right.
right?
That's
So
right. I got you.
it takes a little time to earn to get to
I
where
got
you're
you.
a candidate.
I'm with you.
And think about it. I mean, Representative Reedy, what was this year's budget? 40, 50 billion?
That's right.
I mean, he's deciding on a budget that had to spend $50 billion.
And I'm going to talk later about we got 1.2 billion in surplus this year, but we'll talk about that later.
Right. I mean, but anyway, that's how we want
So,
those people to
okay,
meet those standards.
Now hold on a minute. This is for the people. I think I know, but tonight I don't know anything.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
we got it. Yeah.
I want to run. Tess, I'm going to look at you. Okay, here you go. You can eat me alive. I'm okay with it because I need it. I'm going to walk up to you and I'm going to say, call you. I want to run for sheriff, and I want to run as a Republican. What are you going to tell me? What are you going to say? Because I have to go to
first
her.
thing
You
I'm
said,
gonna
right?
do-
Oh, yeah.
I got to go to her first.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
The first thing I'm going to do is look at your voting record.
Right. And
I'm going to, if that's okay.
If 3 or 4.
Then I'm going to say, well, Mike, I don't ever see you at a meeting.
Okay.
You don't
That's-
come to the meetings. You're not a regular meeting
Right.
person. Have you been given to? And I know that you haven't been supporting a Democrat or an independent.
Right.
I know that.
Right.
Okay, so you're okay there. Then I'm going to ask you: have you been given money to? What have you done for the Republican Party? Have you, donated money to the state? Have you helped Jay Reedy? And you tell me yes, and then
You verify that.
well, I will verify it
That's
from
right.
now on. Somebody got through the caucus, that we had, and I didn't verify it, and
Okay.
they didn't tell me the truth. But
Okay, well, not. There's liars.
Liars in politics. Come on.
That's what I was going to say, Scott. I love it.
So,
Lying in politics.
I'm just giving you a little heads
I
up.
got
Whenever
you.
I'm up there, I've had a bad
understand.
experience.
I know you have.
But
It's kind of like those warning labels on medicine. Take by mouth. I'm wondering
But-
what the hell caused that. But go
if you
ahead.
tell me, hey, I gave Jay Reedy $1,000,
Yeah.
then I'm going to say, okay, yeah. And then I'm going to call Jay Reedy later
I,
and say, hey.
I would expect that.
And then I'd say you're good to go. What can I do to help you? And
Wow, that's simple.
It's that
And
simple.
I'm not taking up for y'all because y'all know where I am. But that bar's low. It ain't like you ain't got to
I'd
swing
like for it
through.
to be higher.
Well, it's not.
Yeah. There's
So we described the difference between a Republican voter
Right.
and a Republican candidate. Now, why I've asked that question is I've had people come to the shop and say, well, I guess I couldn't run as a Republican. I voted Republican all of my life. I said, well, the bar is kind of low. And I was what y'all told me was kind of what I've been telling people. It ain't like you got to jump through hoops, do backflips, or know 14 different languages. You kind of got to be a Republican, like a Mason, or in your case, a Baptist, or Church of Christ, or whatever your religion is, or Muslim, whatever it is. You got to be one of them. Why is there arguments over that?
Well, I think primarily because a lot of people don't vote, and that's what's frustrating about it, right? I mean, we all see it. I was going to say, so to be a Republican candidate, you have to first be a Republican voter. We've had this debate where people are saying, well, the bona fides, all this. It's like, well, that's how you earn it. Yeah. That's how you become a candidate, is by voting every time. Yeah. And these August elections that we just had, those are for the county general. Right. I mean, these are your county commissioners, your sheriff, your mayor, DA, judges in 2030. These are very important elections, and we got a lot of people that show up and vote for Trump. Yeah, and they're fired up. Yeah, and then you look at their voting record and you say, well, what about your district attorney? Oh, I didn't. Well, that really wasn't an important election, and that's what we as a Republican Party want people to vote every opportunity that they have. People have fought and served for it, died for it, and when it's
voter
open,
integrity is very important to me. Yeah, I want to know that my elections in Tennessee, that when I push that button now, there's a red button here in Paris. How we Henry County, we push a red button, bing, it locks it in, and I want to know that it's real, that my vote really got counted. That to me is very important, because I hear this all the time. Well, my vote don't matter because we got the electoral college. I don't want to get into all that. And I look at them and I explain to them, well, do you want the big cities electing our president? If you do away with electoral college. The socialists are doing a great job of making that a bad word, electoral college. That's right. And I'm okay with that. Just they're idiots. That part is, we got to have that. But as long as the state keeps our vote, is a state deal. As long as you don't give it to the federal government, it belongs to the state, and our election integrity is there.
Tennessee is #1 in voter and election integrity.
I love it.
Of all 50 states.
I love that because, it's very important to me. And the older you get, folks, the older you get. If you're young people watching me tonight, I don't care. I get excited because maybe somebody, go vote. It's free and it's very important. As long as I know that my vote counts, I'm okay with it, and I trust Tennessee because the state of Tennessee runs our election. If the federal government gets involved, it's going to hell. There's nothing there. When the federal government, another Ronald Reagan, when the federal government says, I'm here to help, we got trouble. You follow me?
And of course, it's the 10th Amendment, states' rights. There's things that our state, and it's amazing to me.
But there's people out there who want to put it in the federal hands.
And
you know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I go to legislative conferences, visiting with other states, they find out that you're from Tennessee, then they want to know what you're doing because you, in your state,
when I go down there, I usually got a work clothes on. It says Mike, and it says my business over here. And they'll say, I need some ID. Now, I know everybody. Jay, I know. If you was working the booth or I know y'all. And I said, want this work? And they'll smile. No, that Charlotte won't work. Okay, so I pull out my license, I give it to them, they find it, they check me off, I sign, they give me paper, I go over, I pick who I want to vote, and I push the button, and I feel great. Amen. I feel a privilege. I feel part of it. I feel like, I'm just one vote, but that I feel like I did something, right? And as long as in Tennessee, like you're saying, I feel good because I know it's not no bullcrap going on.
And that's the first time I ever voted was for Ronald Reagan, and I was stationed in Germany in the Army, sitting on a military cot. Yeah. It was the punch card, so I got experience with that. But it's like, it's my right, even as an American soldier, that I get to vote, even though I'm on foreign soil.
Let's move on.
I got one question. We were talking about the importance of voting. Didn't we have a tie race in Henry County?
Yes.
We do.
Yeah. We're going to move out into November.
It's in my district, actually.
Is that what the county?
Yeah, 475 to 475. Sure. Yeah. They're going to move it on to I think in November is what I'm hearing.
I hope it's in November. I think it would only be right for the people in the second district.
It's not fair to put the commissioners legally can go in there and vote. Right. But Who in the hell? All of them would abstain
Yeah.
from voting. I wouldn't. If I was commissioner, I would not vote on that.
Because
I'm
if
not-
it goes the wrong way, you're in trouble with family members.
You're right.
Had 3 other elections in Tennessee that were also tied this year. So we had 4 elections across the state of Tennessee that were
That
dead
kind of,
tied.
to me, it
I
kind
mean,
of proves how good our elections are. If it can,
4 times.
that's
hairs.
right.
Yeah.
It matters. Moving right along. Marsha Blackburn, she is a Republican nominee.
She's our Republican
That's
nominee.
right. She's our
Correct.
Republican nominee. But do you know that 57% of Republicans voted against her? I got the numbers right here. Blackburn, 43.65%. Rose, 32.95%. Fritz, 23.50%. That's approximately 715,000 votes. But 57% of the Republicans voted against Marsha. Now,
Well, not necessarily.
they did. That's
Not against. They just preferred somebody else.
well, they voted against her.
When they had a choice.
They voted
Yeah.
against her. You can word it how you want, JD, but they voted against her. Jerry Green, she's a Democrat nominee. She got 69% of the vote, but she didn't have no competition, I don't think, like that Marsha did have. Then you got this independent guy coming out of East Tennessee. His name is David Hatley. He's from Carter County, Tennessee. He put $7 million of his own money, and he said, I'll spend $20 million of his own money. Now, here's my question. Y'all are pretty smart. Tennessee, most time, the Democrats get 35% of the vote. I think Kamala Harris got 40% of the votes in Tennessee against Trump. I'm pretty close, 38 to 40%. Don't hold me to it, Jay. If she gets 35% of the votes, Green. Pinkston, she's another one that's going to get 3 to 5% of the vote or more.
Oh, sure.
And that leaves Hatley and Blackburn fighting for approximately 60 to 65% of the votes that's left out there. Where will the unhappy Republicans go? Now, y'all say there ain't no unhappy Republicans. You remember, this is what this show is about. There is. What? Because Fritz and Rose has not come out yet and said, hey, we need to support Marsha. I know you're going to say, give him time. I realize that. But you got 57% of the votes tied up in Rose and Fritz, correct? Mm-hmm. Where are they going to go? Are they going to jump on? Because Republicans are known to be like trying to herd cats. If they don't get their way, they pick their toys up and go home. Y'all have to agree as Republicans that's
Welcome to
happening.
politics.
There you go. Okay. Are we going to get them people? I don't mean we. Y'all going to get them people. It's hard not to say we sometimes. Are y'all going to get them people to come back and get in line and go back behind Marsha? Go.
You may
Whoever.
start, Representative. Yeah, I was going to say yes. Look, so Governor
It's a fair
Haslam,
question.
It's fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
Governor Haslam also did not get 50%. I can't remember what he got. It was in the 40s. Governor Lee was under 40.
Oh yeah, it was
It was like 38%.
way
right?
underpolled. Yeah.
So this is third election in a row where you've got a divided Republican primary. We're going to come together. Everybody knows the job that Senator Blackburn has done for the state of Tennessee. We have full confidence she's going to be fantastic. It's our job as the Republican Party. We're going to coalesce around her. I know that those candidates have already reached out. I think we're going to be seeing them. Certainly, everybody's going to be rowing in the same direction as we get closer to
The
November.
candidates. What about we just
And
while
the
ago?
supporters, right?
There you go. The voters.
Listen, I think. Look, we're going to make the argument to them. I think that that's only fair. But the argument, I think, Representative Reedy brought it up early about what damage an independent can do. I mean,
Yes.
Bill Clinton turns 80 years old today. By
Wow.
the way, would not have happened without people voting for Ross Perot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Even in Tennessee, President Bush or President Clinton, he only got 48% of the votes. Didn't get a majority.
We need to speak about this dark horse, Hatley, East Tennessee, independent. People saying, look at him, and I'm here, and this is the truth. It's not nothing that we don't want to hear bad news. I've been on some campaigns, and I go in there and say, hey, this is what I'm here. We don't want to hear negativity. Well, they always call me back after we get off a conference call and say, Mike, what was you talking about?
Yeah.
Hatley could be dangerous. He could be these, if there is such a term, as disgruntled Republicans. There's your goat, Ross Perot.
Now, we need to take some time and look at the polling numbers. And what I mean by that, it was amazing to me campaigning all of these years that I will find people that will not show up at a primary, but they'll show up at a general election for a president, or you have a plethora of folks that got you across the finish line in a primary, and then they disappear in the general election.
Like you said, well, I go, welcome to politics.
And so you get what drove people to the polls to start off with in the primary. Was it a local race? Is it the sheriff's race? Is it,
I think the governor race brung all the polls and all the numbers up.
Well, but there was the sheriff's race in Houston County really drove the numbers. It had nothing to do with the governor. It was that sheriff's race. So
I'll give you that, and maybe some certain area, but I think statewide it was a governor race.
So you take and look at that and then say, okay, people, you showed up in strength on the primary. Are you going to wake up on November and be there for us again?
Right.
And so it's just amazing to me because I look at the numbers that I get in the August primary, and then in November, and then I see sometimes it's more and sometimes it's less. Yeah. Like, well, what happened to these people? Did somebody pass away? Somebody on vacation?
It's politics.
And of course, that 3 out of the 4 is a military man or woman that's overseas that didn't get to vote that one time, and that's why they only got 3 out of 4. Because they didn't show up for that primary. So I agree with that, but I didn't know the rules of the game at all. I was just told when I decided to run for state rep, they said, well, go see the chairman of the party in Nashville. And when I walked through the room, and it's like, when they looked at me and looked at my record, like, yeah. And it was pretty amazing that I got, what was it? The August primary, 73% of the vote. And the chairman at the time calls me and says, Jay, you're our guy. We need to help you. So we're going to give you a person to work with you campaigning because you were hitting all the high marks and you polled great and you won. Now we need to get you across the finish line in November. So that's where you see the support. But once again, if you've got a primary opponent, a lot of folks will stay out of it.
But not being in politics, being on the outside looking in, having an old garage, a mechanic shop where you hear people coming in.
You get all your employees out to vote?
Mm-hmm. Pay them to vote.
That's right. You're still on the clock.
That's
Go
right.
vote.
Exactly right.
Okay. Well, not everybody can do that, Mike. But anyway, good job.
That's just the way you do it. That's the way That's the way it is. Go vote.
So get them there on November.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
You made me lose my train of thought.
My kids don't eat if they don't vote. So that's a powerful motivator.
Ambition.
But I think that I've said this in the past, and people argue with me, but it's a true story. I got the numbers right here to back up what I say. If I can find them.
No, if you can find them.
Yeah. Tennessee's not a Republican state. It's not. It never has been, and it probably never will be. It's got Republican supermajority running the state, but as far as the voters, we're not. The numbers doesn't show that. I've got them somewhere. I got to do a better job of this. All right.
Well.
Anyway, I had the numbers.
I'll just say this. Look, I obviously primaries are tough. We've had divisive ones in the past, and again, this is the third.
4,327,000 voters in Tennessee.
Okay,
2.1 was independent voters. It breaks down like this: 18.2% Democrat, 33.7% Republican, 48.1% is independent. Mm-hmm. Now, that right there doesn't mean anything. You can't read anything into that. But the independence is what sets the elections in Tennessee. Well, and as the Republicans are doing a great job, the independents tend to go toward them. But right now, if we can get on to this, we got a $500 million football stadium, but we can't cut grocery tax.
Right.
$500 million.
Let me before we jump on Representative. I'll just say this. Everybody likes to say that they're independent. They're going to vote for which candidate. But President Trump in 2016 got 1.9 million votes. In 2020, he got 2 million votes. And in 2024, he got 1.97 million votes. I mean, it is.
I'm with you.
So he has been right at the 2 million mark. Yes. And I think if we hit those numbers, and they'll be relative, but I think if we do that, Senator Blackburn will be governor.
She should be. All the numbers. I want to be.
Listen, we haven't had a chance, but these congressional races.
Right. I got the numbers.
I told a crowd the other night that Tennessee is going to probably decide whether or not Mike Johnson or Hakeem Jeffries is the Speaker of the House.
That's right.
And this district, Henry County,
Yeah.
all the counties around.
Well, Charlie Hatcher,
Yeah.
he won.
Yeah.
With 53.24% of the vote, which is 36,544 votes. Ogles had 32,091 that come in. I don't know, what is that? 47% rounded up. Then you got Chad Motor. He's running against him. Mm-hmm. They all down in that same little old bunch down there in around William County and right there. Right, what the hell? I mean, right there. Well, can anybody in this area, Jay? You know,
I don't think that they didn't know to run. They didn't know to get ready to run. It was kind of the Supreme Court changes the rules.
It did. I mean, and honestly, it fell right in Hatcher's hand. It fell right in his hand. Agriculture, farming, I knew he was going to win. I've had him and Ogle both talk to both of them on my show. Mm-hmm. Great guys, both of them, great people. Motor, I don't know him. He got a 17,700, 40% of the vote.
Did he get 40%?
Yeah.
I didn't
40.51%.
I didn't realize he actually had opponents and only come up with 40%.
If my numbers are right, they give them to me. Yolanda Cooper Sutton got 32%.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know what it is. You ever heard of that name? Well, anyway, she must be
Democrat.
Now party. Oh, give them credit. They're voting.
We're taking November.
We better take it
serious.
We're taking
it seriously all the way across the state.
Yeah, total 41,520, 41,000 votes in the Democrat when Chad won his primary, and there was approximately 68,000 voted in Hatcher. And Hatcher, I could see on writing on the wall. I'm not a political analyst. I'm not none of that, but I could see it coming because the stars lined up for his district. When I seen all the big farmers across his district, it's a no-brainer. He was going to win that election. And he'll do the same thing in this other one.
Listen, we're not taking any chances.
And I'm not projecting anything. I'm just saying Charlie Hatcher is in his same district he won his primary in. Nothing's changed. The farmers are still there.
Yeah, I know.
These big, gigantic farmers, they ain't went anywhere. They're going to go back with Charlie.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and so Charlie's going to win this election. I mean, and Motor's coming on my show, and I'm going to tell him same thing. I'm going to say, hey, man, you got to run against a farmer. That's the farmers. It's in farmer district. Am I making sense?
So how many counties are in that?
8.
No.
The
congressional district.
Oh.
17.
17, I think.
17.
I mean, it's got a piece of Murray,
It's
Williams,
crazy as damn mountain.
Lewis.
Did y'all have a lot of that
17.
liquor up there when y'all was drawing them maps?
That's a
You
question
sell
for
tires,
Representative
Charlie
Reedy.
Hatcher's going to need some tires to
I
run
know
all these roads.
a third.
See his old truck? He might need a truck.
A third of the executive committee
it's iconic.
is in over a third. Is
All right,
in
I got some
congressional
comments
district.
right here. I got to read. Alan knows that he's been voted Republican longer than these people have been alive, and now he has to be bona fide. He voted independent in the recent mayoral race, and now he's disqualified. That's bullcrap. Maybe
That's not
Republicans
true.
don't want our vote anymore. He's open to conversation. Why any of the panel that wants to defend that? I'll repeat the question, but he wants to pick it up. He's been voted Republican. I think, Alan, I know you, Alan, but we've been talking about the difference between a Republican voter and a voter for candidate. Right. Okay. He said he'd been voting Republican longer than these people have been alive. I guess you're talking about me. Hell, we're the same age. We got the same damn birthday. You ain't older than me.
Come
what
on.
the hell? We're both July the 4th. Anyway, he voted independent in the recent mayoral race. Okay. And now he's disqualified, ? He said that's bullcrap. Maybe Republicans don't want our vote anymore. When do y'all pick that up?
Well, okay. Did he vote for an independent or did he vote in the Republican primary? Did he choose not to vote in the Republican primary?
I'm sure he didn't
I mean,
say.
he is eligible to vote in the Republican
We
primary.
don't know who voted as an
We have no
independent unless
idea.
you tell us. I mean, I guess we know now, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, you're allowed to choose who you want. What
We didn't have a
say,
primary in the mayoral race here, so there's no way to know.
No, in August, you would have had to pick up a Republican. You can pick up a Republican ballot and vote for governor and Congress.
But not here, not in our mayor race he's talking about.
he's talking about the mayoral race.
Mayoral
that we had a
race.
caucus for.
I understand. Yes,
Okay.
he voted in August, and he's saying that he voted for the independent
Right.
Exactly.
over the Republican.
Right.
Okay, so but he still could have voted in a Republican primary.
Right. Put back on there.
For
If you're still
governor-
watching, Alan, put on there. Did you vote? Did you pick up a Republican? Or did you pick up a Democrat, or did you pick up the general when you went in there to
you're
vote?
right.
So we'll go on.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
we'll
so
wait till he
now-
answers that. We'll go back. Greg says on problem facing Tennessee is the amount of Democrat voters moving to Tennessee from other states, and independent is a perfect place for a liberal to hide. Wow.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah. I'm going to get on to the people moving in. I got numbers on how many people are moving here.
Yeah.
But I don't want to bounce around too much, and I'm like it.
When do we start drinking? Do we start drinking after?
Well, we got just get after.
Well, I'm going to say the Democrat Party bar is much higher than ours.
It is. Yeah,
they'll kick you off. Look
but
what they did
also,
to
I
Barry,
reached out and talked to some
That's
Democrats
true.
about what I called them before this show. A Democrat friend of mine. I asked him. I said, "What do you have to do to run as a Democrat?" He said, "Just go talk to them you want to run." I said, "Is it kind of like the Republicans?" He said, "Not that I'm aware. When I run as a Democrat," he said, "I didn't have to do anything."
They do.
Yeah.
They may not. Theirs are very similar to ours, and they're working on it. Yes,
Okay.
that are very similar to ours. Now, they may not enforce it because, whereas I told you we had 2,000 candidates, they have about 200 or 300 candidates.
Right.
So
They probably are not enforcing.
They're probably not.
Let me
looking-
share this real quick. It was State Representative John DeBerry, State Representative John Mark Wendell, both Democrats. And of course, what happened is they got their petition signed. That petition turned in so they could run as a Democrat, and then the Democrats come out and says, "We don't like you. Your name's coming off the ballot." And it happened to both those gentlemen, not the same year, but even Rosalind Carita for Senate up in Montgomery County. Democrat, but the Democrats got tired of her and just took her off the ballot.
I'm going to move on.
So for DeBerry, they kicked him off for what he believed.
That's
we
exactly
don't
right.
do that. We let the voters decide what they believe.
I want to move on.
Go ahead, yes, sir.
Okay, Republicans are a super majority in Tennessee.
Yes,
You know, they run it all. Okay. We can build a $500 million football stadium, right? Yeah, we are. Taxpayers are paying for it.
It costs more than that, I think.
Well, I'm just saying 500 million. It never does, but that's just the numbers they put out there.
Yeah.
But we can't cut grocery tax.
Let me tell you what we did.
Now, let me finish. What about the people that's out here working every day that don't go to the football stadium, but they go to the grocery store? If you as Republicans, and I keep saying y'all, if you want to continue with these Republicans, independents coming over, because I done proved the point that Tennessee's not a Republican state, it's an independent state by the numbers. Y'all have to agree, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to continue getting those independents to pull that R lever, is it done by school vouchers, $500 million football stadiums, or is it about doing stuff for Mike and this guy that was on here a while ago, giving us a little cut on our grocery tax? What do we do here? What is sometimes when a ruling party gets into office, they lose their way. Take it away, Jay. You're dying to talk.
On the it's State Representative Sabi Kumar has got a great idea for the grocery tax, and it's healthy food, not your soda pops, not your bag of chips, and all of that. And it's the whole idea is trying to get people to eat healthy. But I agree.
Can I push back on that? That's not irrelevant.
Let me finish.
Okay, but it's not irrelevant. But go ahead, Jay.
Right, but with that, I agree. There should not be taxes on groceries. So we talk about it every year.
Talk about it.
It's interesting. Well, there's always somebody,
I understand.
moving it, and we just don't accomplish it, be it the House or the Senate.
Well, the reason why, let me buddy a minute. If you're trying to put regulations on, I can understand regulating food stamps, what you can buy with it. But why does it make a damn? If I want to buy me some Twinkies, or I want to buy me a health food, it's the same dollar. Take the tax off of it for groceries.
I'm just telling you what Sabi Kumar is talking to me about.
We've cut taxes on groceries.
Well,
getting rid of them.
We've done it just about every year under the Lee administration. Is it what, 2 weeks?
Go away. Just do it away.
But anyway.
But you got household cleaners stuff. I understand. But
So
anything
Nashville,
food.
Davidson County kept throwing the fit. So William Lamberth, the majority leader in the House, he brought and he said, okay, it goes to Davidson County, Nashville. There's county, is it city council, whatever they call themselves.
Metro Council.
The Metro Council can now vote to do away with grocery taxes in Nashville for 1 year, just to let them see what it's all about. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious on what they really find out. How much to me, it's one of these fluffy things that is not going to save families a lot of money.
It's not.
They think it is.
It's not. It's not about the savings.
Yep.
It's not about saving $2 when you go buy your grocery. It's about doing something that the people can put their teeth into. If I was in office, I would say, yeah, Tennessee has got a $1.2 billion surplus this year. We're building a $500 million football stadium, and you got the people out there that don't like neither one of them. Let's do something for the people, the independents that's voting Republican. Let's take the tax off. Yes, it's fluff. Yes, it's everything adjective you want to put to it, but it looks good to the people. And I think that sometimes, as Republicans, they forget that because they got the supermajority. That could come back and bite you in the butt if you forget. Not you, Jay, but when you start building $500 million stadiums, you got $1.2 billion in surplus of money, and then you're saying, well, we might give you a tax on your groceries, but we're not going to do it on sugary drinks. That's irrelevant. Like my daddy used to say, you got to throw a dog a bone every once in a while, you'll starve to death. What's wrong with that? We got a $1.2 billion surplus of money. We're spending all the school vouchers. What the hell? You follow me? I don't think you was for school vouchers neither.
Well, I actually am for school choice, giving the choice to the parents. And now I got a cramp in my leg. Anyway,
you want a drink?
Gatorade.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's
you follow where I'm coming from. I'm coming at you from a person that's walking down the street,
right.
not as a co-host.
All we're talking about is grocery tax. But what about the tax that we collect, that we send out to all of the communities, economic community development grants for senior citizen centers, for
but we have 1.2 billion surplus. It's not like we're stealing from Peter to pay Paul. We got a surplus.
Now, when did that surplus come into place?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to brag a minute.
$58.3 billion is the state's
but
budget.
let me brag on you just a minute. You'll like this.
Just a minute.
I'm proud of y'all because most governments spend every dime they get wanting more. Y'all did show some conservatism. I got to give you credit. Now, say you like me again. I got to give you some kudos because the conservatism come out. You didn't spend every damn dime you could. You can't do that in Henry County. If you give them a blank checkbook, hell, they'll be in trouble around here. But that's mostly. But y'all did.
Republican.
Yeah, y'all did show some conservatism. Scott, you have to agree.
Here's to explain it is because we tried to guesstimate it's July 1st is our new budget, right? And so as we're collecting taxes, we're going to say we're not going to overspend. So we are guessing that we need this much money for July, this much money for August. And so with that, we do have a pretty healthy rainy day fund.
We do.
Now, if we let the Democrats have a rainy day fund, they would just spend it all on education for teachers, and I guess we'd buy every teacher a car, whatever, which they were doing before Bill Haslam took over.
I understand.
In Metro, it's everybody was driving a car. It's like, well, how can you afford that? Oh, we just use the money that you guys keep giving us under Democrat rule. So anyway, there's the funds that we have in promoting health in our counties, education in our counties, the summer programs, the summer meals for kids. And
right.
There's a lot of things that we're doing. People don't know we're doing it. And they're like, oh, well, this money grows on a tree or come from under a rock.
You're doing a great job.
Wait a minute.
You're doing a great job, but you spent $500 million on a football stadium. You won't cut my sales tax on my Pepsi Colas.
I voted against that stadium thing. The amount of money we spend or the salary for NFL players, build their own dadgum stadium.
I got you, brother. You damn right. Hey, college
they
football.
They didn't even pay for the stadium
No,
that they
look
got
at
that they're
college
playing
football. Now they want to take NFL players and go back and play college football. Let's don't even get off on that. Okay.
Subject change.
I'll just say this. Look,
Yeah.
Tennessee has probably the best run state government
They
in the
do.
country.
I
And
give y'all
AAA
kudos.
bond, one of the things on the ballot this year, by the way, in November, is the elimination of a potential. I know we got three: Marcy's Law, and then you tell me what the third one is.
There's the bonding, and then there's no state property tax.
It's no state property. That's where I was going. So yes, we can eliminate put it into the Constitution that the state of Tennessee will never have a state property tax.
Let's do it.
It's in November.
Yeah.
It's on.
We get
Thank you.
Great.
So
Yes,
we did 14 was elimination of the state income tax in the Constitution. This year will be the elimination of a state property tax.
Well, see, there was a law passed where you could put a gravel tax. I don't know how long that's been on the books, but Henry County found out about it. Now they,
tax?
Yeah.
Oh, off the quarries and mining.
Yeah,
and
now all of a
that.
sudden Henry County decided they're going to start taxing these mines. And I looked at them and said, why? Well, they're tearing up our roads. Well, how far is it from the mine to a state highway? Once you get to state highway, the county ain't got nothing to do with it anyway. Well, they're taking stuff out of the ground. It's private property.
You ever think about running for local election?
No.
Go straighten them out, Mike.
I'm just saying common sense, guys. I don't believe in that. I said, what about your hog trucks and your log trucks? You're not going to tax them? You're just going to tax gravel? I know what you're saying. You get where I'm coming from. My point of that was, y'all was talking, if you give these a lot of government offices and a chance to spend money, they'll spend the hell out of it.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you again, Jay, so you'll like me again. My hat's off to y'all. Conservative had a surplus. So you thought you were going to spend this much, and you end up not spending quite so. And that's good. That's called conservative. Because I have people all the time say, well, so-and-so, he ain't a Republican. Yeah, he did. He passed the Republican smell test. Now, his ideology, I can't tell you if he's a conservative, a MAGA, a Tea Party, or I don't want to say liberal and tie it in with Republican like I don't want to tie in conservative with a Democrat. Not because he's just not respectful, I don't believe.
Right.
But people tend to confuse that. They confuse what their party is with the ideology of how they are. If I was going to run for office, if I was going to run as a Republican, I'd say I'm a conservative Republican. That's two different things. That means that I am a Republican, but my ideology is conservative, which we don't want to spend a damn dime. That's what I'm Danny says I'm like that at home. You got it.
Sounds like an announcement to me.
Yeah, y'all did a great job at what you're doing up there, because most governments that don't have a balanced budget amended like we have in Tennessee,
That's
where
right.
you have to balance your budget. Thank God that's there, because you got people up there that, just like the federal government, 40 trillion just say it quickly, 40 trillion. That's a lot of damn money. Can you imagine with some of the past administration what you'd be fighting right now?
Year to year with continuing amendment.
Can you imagine if Tennessee didn't have a balanced budget with some of the prior administration, what you'd be fighting today? Yeah. Well, we can't
We'd
balance.
be Illinois. That's what
exactly,
Illinois is.
Exactly.
Which is why people are moving here. I would say the kudos to the legislature.
That's my part too.
Republicans have been in charge, by the way, for 15 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Since,
now, I've been hard on them tonight. Y'all both know that.
Sometimes they deserve it.
That's right, but I'm telling you, but when a handshake and a pat on the back is deserved, I do it. Sometimes that's better than giving a pay raise to your employee. Just tell them how good a job they do and thank them. You're doing a good job on some. You're doing bad on some. You ain't worth a shit at. But as a rule, y'all did a great job, and I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. I know he's telling me to go back down. Don't be so hyper.
It's after dark. It's after dark.
It's after dark.
Property
tax. I got a way to fix it. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. It come from Monty Frentz. He said something about it. And people don't like my idea because they always got an excuse for it. But let's put our property tax rate, the value of your house, back to 2019, okay? And let the capitalism, the free market, set the price of what my house is worth, not some bureaucrat up in Nashville telling me, well, Mike, your house is worth $900,000. It's only worth what somebody's running to write me a check for. Let's put it back to 2019, right? My house worth $500,000 in 2019, and if I sell it to Jay for $650, he pays tax on $650. And if I keep it for the rest of my life, well, your government's not going to get no more. They're going to get a tax increase every time it sells. Because I used to know, I don't have it here. I should have wrote that down. The percent of houses is flipped every year. It's a big number. It will be so much more money coming in. It's kind of like when you lower taxes and they say, well, we're going to take more money by lowering tax rate. Well, they don't understand how that works. They're not business people like myself. Yeah, they don't. Do you understand? When lower tax, you get more income. Same way with this deal right here. You will get a built-in pay increase. Them counties will get more money because right now the markets are hot. Everybody's buying and selling. I flip houses sometimes. Buy it for this, sell it for that. The new owners it's a built-in tax increase. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Okay, why don't we do that? Why don't one of y'all?
If I had to guess, and I'm not saying it's not a bad idea, and I don't know the formula that they use. I'm in politics.
It's not a formula.
So I
just give you the whole gist of it.
I know, I understand. But my guess is that the metro areas probably flip faster than the rural areas.
Well, look what's going on up here in Nashville. They're running people out of business because their property tax went up to $600,000 a year.
I understand, but so they would encourage that. Whereas you go out and have a rural community that people live 20. I mean, I've been in my house 20 years. I would love to be paying property taxes on what we paid for it. It's doubled
in 2019.
Oh, no, not 19.
No, 19. And I'm not asking to take a big cut.
Now, do you have a year where it's like every 10 years you flipped it to 2029?
I don't have no
Or
plan. My plan is this.
Okay.
It's simple. 2019, if I had my house built in 1996. I built my house.
Right.
And it's damn near doubled and what the price is.
Right.
Oh, no, it's triple since what I paid for it. I want to go back to what they said my house was worth, according to the state of Tennessee, in 2019. There was a time I would buy anybody's house on what that tax card said it was worth, and I could sell it for a lot more. Now you can't.
Right.
That's because
It's upside down. The property
upside
tax
down.
is too high. And
Right.
the
So
house
now
is
let's
worth
go back
less.
to 2019. You follow me? Mm-hmm. Whatever your house was worth is what you pay your property tax. They'll set your tax rate locally. Each county will. They're going to lose their minds because they don't understand math. It's very simple. The rate that houses are turning over, I've got the numbers. We had nearly 500,000 people moving into Tennessee in the last 6 years. They're buying houses. Yeah. So if we had Mike Weatherford's property tax in place, them houses would have had an automatic tax increase. Because if it was $200,000, what I'm paying, I sold it to Jay for $400,000. He pays tax on $400,000 at the rate that the county tells you that you bought your house in. It's an automatic tax increase. It'll go on forever like that. And their problem is, they say, well, what about somebody who lives there 50 years? What's wrong with that? Why are you worried about somebody living there? Why do you want to take that poor man's money? You follow what I'm saying? That thing right there, if you run it like it is, if you get in there and you politicalize it up and start putting bits and pieces and twists and turns on it, it's going to be worthless. But if you just say, go back to 19 and let the capitalism, what y'all, especially Republicans, call free market, capitalism, right? Democrats are saying, not the Democrats, the socialists are saying socialism, what we want. Show them what capitalism does. The market will set the house, not some guy in Nashville. Tell me where I'm wrong.
It's not one guy. Somebody put it in statute, and that's what they.
I understand. To get rid of all that.
So with that, it would require state and house to change the formula.
It could be done.
Oh, it could be. Just
it could be done. Anything could be done.
Anything. With
That's
enough
right.
votes.
But I think we agree for a change.
We agree more than disagree. Come on,
no,
brother,
we
man.
do. You're my friend.
We are certainly for more money in people's pockets. We definitely think
I have to agree.
people
The
spend
Republicans
money
tend
better
to
than the government does.
The Republicans tend to be that way.
I agree.
They tend to be, because we got a good example in Tennessee. I'm going to pat you on the back. We got a surplus of money. Yep. I like that.
Yeah. Samantha
says she was so disappointed in the low turnout for the August local election. 7,500 people did not vote. You're right, Samantha. We had 6,203, I think, voted in Henry County. It's pitiful. Population approximately 35,000 people in the county. You only had 6,000 vote. Do the math. God, that's 4%.
Well, what you got to do is not just look at the whole population. You got to look at the registered voters.
Yeah, I look at the whole population.
So if you look at the registered voters, we are still getting less than 10% of registered
it's
voters.
crazy.
Not all 33,000 people.
Oh, I understand. It's
here.
crazy. You're right.
So it's like, golly, come on.
Another question. Let's get to this. I'm going to let y'all guys go. It's over an hour.
That's what you said already.
I know it. I figured y'all walk out by now. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Having fun?
Yes.
Not as bad as you thought it'd be.
No,
is it?
no,
All
it's
right,
not.
I told
Quite the
you
show
I'd
without the
take care of
gloves. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Why don't Republicans, state elected official, Jay Reedy, you're a state official. Why don't you endorse or come out for these local election, Republicans?
I do.
Mayors. Come out and endorse mayors in your district, runs Republican.
I have in the past.
Okay. That needs to happen.
For county commissioners, for sheriffs.
That's right.
And that's
Well,
right.
you're one of the few that does that.
Well, and it's...
That needs to happen. But I can understand. It's a double-edged sword. I agree.
Well,
That's a test question.
Yeah, let's...
Y'all won't ever come back in here again, will you?
I love it. Okay. Tess, you go ahead. I know we've talked about it.
Because with that, it depends on my race. If I've got a tough race that I'm coming up, I need
Cover
to
your own ass.
I need to concentrate on what I'm
with
doing.
you.
But now this year, I stayed out of the governor's race, the congressional race. Charlie Hatcher and Andy Ogler both called me like, nope, guys, I'm staying out of it.
I would have stayed out of that one, but I would come in now and help Hatcher if I was a Republican.
You're seeing dogfights going on, and I don't need to be in the middle of it.
You should come out and help Hatcher now because he's a Republican nominee.
Yeah, just
okay.
Just like Marshall Blackburn.
The roads are in the damnedest mess in Tennessee I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's just pitiful. We used to laugh at Arkansas. I'm older. I don't know. I'm older than a lot of
Boy,
y'all.
Arkansas sucked.
They used to be. Now they're getting better. Tennessee's a laughing stock. Go to Kentucky. I dread coming home in Tennessee roads. TDOT and TDEX. Do they even know each other exist?
They do.
It's the craziest damn thing I've ever seen. Why don't y'all get a handle on them two? It's like two brothers that can't get along. You got to put them in separate rooms, right? Put them in the same damn bunk. Correct me where I'm wrong.
Here's what I told somebody that just called me. He said, well, we need to change this, this, and this. And I said, January, we're going to have a new governor. Mm-hmm. And how much stuff is going to change and who's going to come up with the next brilliant idea? They had that tax, gas tax.
Yeah.
I fought that. I'm like, no.
Thank you.
No.
I wasn't mad at the gas tax.
I still am.
I'm not. I'll tell you why.
Because your roads are crap, man.
That part pisses me off.
See? Tell me how good that gas tax was.
Because
thank you very much.
42% of that money's paid by out-of-staters.
I can't do a mic drop.
You hear me? 42% of that tax is paid by out-of-staters. Because Tennessee happens to have I-40 runs for all the way the length of the state. 40%, I got the numbers.
You know whose tax increased more than gas? Diesel.
Yeah.
You know what truck drivers did?
Yeah, they buy it out of state. I understand
and just
that.
come through Tennessee and
gasoline
not have to pay for it.
You cannot drive the state of Tennessee without filling up with gas unless you've got some kind of car that I'm not familiar with. Because remember, I told you those engineers are pissed off at mechanics.
That's
okay?
why TDOT's on number 4, number 5 county or
their problem with TDOT and TDEX is they're not being led.
The crappy roads.
TDOT is reminding me of a sane asylum with letting the patients run the asylum.
Mike, we better go.
Yeah.
8:15.
But I'll tell you,
you're not going to have a.
We're going to have to do part 2.
I don't care. Hell, what are they going to do to me?
I ain't fixing that road.
I'm an ex-boxer, and I was a champion at one time. Very few people can whip me, and I sure the hell can't eat me because I taste sour. I guarantee you. I think I've eat y'all up on enough. We talked about the property tax. There's nothing y'all can do about. But
there's always something we can do.
No, you need to stay out of a lot of things.
But we got to come together.
You got to stay out of a lot of things. A lot of things, like I tell people, quit trying to save my damn life. I don't need all these rules and regulations to save my life. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Give me a road to go to work on. Don't tax the hell out of it, and I'll be okay. Housing, rent, big issues across the state. Tennessee needs to stay out of that. That should be left alone. The government. That's exactly right. The government needs to stay out of that. Influence of people from other states. 2022, 83,000. 2023, 203,000. 2024, 192,000. 25, 42,000. Total, 520,000 to 650,000 new residents in the state of Tennessee. They're moving here because we don't have a state income tax,
and it's slowing down.
And let me finish. And where they moved here because we don't have a state income tax and the cost of living is relatively cheaper. Well, now them same people are starting to bitch. Hey, my property tax went up and the damn groceries hit the roof.
No, that's the whole state of Tennessee.
And I say, thank you. You're a part of the damn problem. You come here and give $450,000 for a house that was worth $300,000 because where you come from, it was a bargain. Now that you got here, welcome to Henry County. Well, whatever problems you're running from, don't bring in some bitches here. Don't bring it here. I don't want I'm not saying political, but whatever you want. The first thing they say is my road out there needs to be patched. My cousin Ron, you're watching. I'm talking about you. My road, can at least just patch my road? I said, do you want to pay more property tax? You telling me you're paying $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 a year on a little place up there? Some of them $20,000 a year property tax.
That's a deeper dive on roads because if it's county roads, state roads,
we're talking about county.
But then you get
people don't even know the difference between a city and I try to explain to them on my show all the time. A street is owned by city. A road is owned by the county, and a highway is by the state.
But not all. It's
when you go through Middletown, you have a little issue.
County, but anyway, there's state aid funding that comes down to the county.
That's right.
And then on the county, they prioritize what's going to get fixed.
Yeah.
Now, what's sad is sometimes the counties need to save up for 3 years to be shovel ready to get a job done.
We're doing it right now. Our road supervisor is fixing to dump a lot of money. I think this spring he's dumped a lot. He does a good job. When everybody's road in Henry County was gravel, you remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted tar and chip. I said, look, you can barely get them to come out there and blade your gravel. Do you think they're going to keep your tar and chip patched?
And I'm glad they did it on Coleman Lane.
And
when they tarred and chipped, and I didn't have to see a road grader pushing all the road off and making my
But
pasture
now
smaller.
they're coming back to me and said, Mike, I never thought of that. You're right. I said, yeah, they don't patch your road. It costs $1 million a mile to tar and chip it. It costs $200 a mile
to build a road.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is they're saying, I wish I just had a damn good gravel road.
Yeah.
Because it's pitiful, the cost to do it, and there's no way to fix the
Time to
cost.
say goodnight, Mike.
Yeah, I'm ready to say goodnight. Have y'all had fun?
I thought we were doing the after dark.
We are.
The really get dark.
Jay, did you
The
enjoy it?
Wolfman After Dark.
Have I been hard on you?
You're never hard on me.
All right, I like you, man.
I got a radio show to do in the morning.
All right, well, get
8
on there.
o'clock.
Let me tell you this part, right? Everybody comes on my show. You know you're in the Brewer Street Mafia studios.
Okay.
Everybody knows that. Now,
No,
Jay
no.
is a member of the Mafia. He's already a member of the Mafia.
I haven't been christened, I guess.
Yeah, no, but I've been sitting there. They've been talking to me in my ear. You know you're in the Brewer Street Mafia studios. So, Jay, you got to help me. I'm going to make Mr. Golden, I'm going to make you official members
Thank you.
All right.
of the Brewer Street Mafia. You are official member of the Brewer Street Mafia. Now, there's another bottle right there. I don't know how it got down there. See it?
That may be.
Don't want to mess up the display.
Yeah.
Get it, grab it,
Right.
bring it here. Yeah. Now, this right here is from one of my friends' sponsor. It's called Golden Pond Distilleries up here in Cadiz, Kentucky. Now, this
Okay.
could possibly be my special recipe, but see, it's against the law to say that. So I said it could be. I'm going to give y'all each a bottle. It's a valuable asset that you get when you come on to the Mike Weatherford Show. That is pure thing. If you don't believe me, pop
Liquor
the
to
top
go.
and smell it. It's the real thing. That is true, sure enough, moonshine. Made it to
right.
Golden Pond Distillery.
Legally.
Legally made, I think.
Law enforcement out there.
Why in the hell would I want to say anything like that? Jay,
I appreciate
once
you, Mike.
again, my brother, you've been in here. We did a Charlie Kirk deal. We've had, me and you did some good shows
That was
together.
huge.
It was
That
awesome,
that
wasn't
was,
it?
That was a good program.
I put on a deal for Charlie Kirk up at the
Yeah.
courthouse and invited everybody to come on.
It's great. It's great.
Now,
turnout.
Tess, will you come back again?
Yes, sir.
You told me
When
you was
need-
nervous. It was all going. I don't, Mike. I can't do. I can't. now, was it that bad?
No,
Did I
it
make it
wasn't
easy? Didn't you?
You made it easy, and I had Jay here, and I had Scott here, and
That's
you
right.
here.
Rick, I hope you get to
Support
feeling
group.
better. That's
Yeah.
right. Rick Williams, I hope you get to feeling better. We're gonna get you on here because I needed you tonight to help me keep these Republicans straight. Jay, she done told me that I probably couldn't run as a Republican because I don't go to the meeting. You kind of what you said, wasn't it?
No, well, are you going to come to
we
the
need
meeting?
you to come out to a meeting. You got 4 years before
I
you
got
can
4
run.
years, that's right.
The clock
anyway.
starts over now.
So you and I was going to do a show here a while back and just cover get together.
No, we couldn't get together. It was my world is
I
pretty.
understand.
It's a
Is
long
it-
way from
is it
Mountain
what
City
you-
to Memphis. By the way,
Is it what you thought it would be when you got in? It's a lot funner, ain't it, in here?
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the
No,
job as
I'm
chairman.
talking about
This is
coming on the
fantastic.
show.
Yeah,
You
after
know
dark.
that Scott is the chair of the nation chairs, or
Yeah,
United
I'm,
States chair.
Yeah,
Chair.
We call it chair of chairs, as a matter of
He's
fact.
a chair of
so it's
chairs.
the 50
Like
state chairs.
the state is not big enough for him. He wants to do the whole country.
Well,
That's
it was the RNC chair says you go handle all these guys, but you get your hands in politics all across the country, so it's
congratulations.
good stuff. Oh yeah, we've been doing it for a
I'm
couple
going to tell
years.
you this before I let y'all cut. The Republicans in Tennessee has a supermajority. They've done a great job because I like the conservative part about we didn't spend all we could have spent. Jay, that's up to you.
That's right.
You did a great job on that. There's a lot of other things. I was talking to Jesus the other day, and Jesus said, Mike, you're in good shape. Some of the Republicans are asses in trouble. Y'all can spend $500 million on a football stadium. You can give school vouchers away, but you can't cut sales tax on these poor old ladies and working class. It ain't that no more. It's working class people. Can't even give us food tax. And then you said some of them wants to cut. Well, we'll do it, but you can't buy a Coke. It don't matter. That's irrelevant. It looks good, and you're saying, well, it's not going to give them much. Well, it's going to give them a lot. It's going to be like patting them on the back and saying, we appreciate y'all guys. Y'all Republicans, a supermajority, need to think of that. As those old guys out here in the pits is working and grinding every day, writing them checks every month. And I collect sales tax for the state of Tennessee. I spend about $6,000 a year I send to the state. A month, excuse me. And 2.75% goes to the city. And I can't even vote in the city election. I own all this property in the city. I can't vote there. I've been trying to get them to come my way, but
Well, thank you for your
they
property
won't do
tax.
it. Yeah, I know you do. My property tax, they think
But
all
here's
of
a
it.
statement: don't fall in love with a politician because sooner or later a vote's going to disappoint you.
Hey, I know that. If you vote everything that I like, probably not. But you know what, Jay, I like about you personally, this is about you and I, is I can pick up that phone and most of the time you'll answer it. and you'll have an answer for what I want. If you don't, you'll say, I'll get back to you. I've called you with some crazy crap. I know. Want to know some stuff. But, you're there for us, and you're doing a hell of a job.
But that's it. When you don't know, you don't know. And
right.
when you finally go to, I do the same thing, Mike. I seek out sources
there you go.
such as Scott or Tess, what's going on. And I'm like, okay, I don't have the answer for this constituent.
But you know the problem.
Can you help me?
There you go.
And that's a big thing.
You're a small business owner.
That's exactly right.
And that's what I like about when you get small. And I say that all the time. I think either our local elections, if you put some small business owners have been in charge of budgets, I don't care if you had a lawnmower business or if you made potato chips or if you made computer chips, you still made chips. That's what built this country, was men in overalls, farmers, small entrepreneurs in these little towns. When they put up Paris and out of 17-something, somebody started your first store. That's who built. And now these people in suits are tearing it down.
That's right.
So we got to get these small business owners, like yourself, Jay, going to get out there and say, hey, I know what it's like to write paychecks every week. I know what it's like to read a
balance a budget.
Damn right. That's right. Y'all are doing that. Y'all are doing good on your money. I got to give you that conservatism I like, a lot of stuff I don't like, but work on getting these people. Throw us a bone, dude. Let us know that it ain't just for these rich folks that you're giving vouchers to. Let us know it ain't just these $500 million stadiums that's going to end up being $1 billion. And you can't cut sales tax on groceries.
Let's see what we can do.
I make it awful, don't I? All right, folks, there you go. I've been sitting here with Tess Robbins. She's a Tennessee Republican State Committeewoman for District 24. I've been sitting here with Chairman of the Tennessee Republican Party, Mr. Scott Golden, and my good friend Jay Reedy. He is our State Rep, District 74. He covers a lot of counties. He's a good friend of mine, and I've been kind of hard on him tonight, but trust me, he can handle it. I know he can. Hey, what do you think about Mike After Dark? We do these on Thursday. My regular show's on Tuesday. That's when I go back to being myself. They told me to kind of be not so hyper tonight, but I can't help it. Hell, you can't take the dog out of a dog, can you? All right, folks, tune in next week. I got a great show coming up. Pop that up our next Tuesday night on the Mike Weatherford Show. He ran back into the fire to save his wife at TNT Tacos. Story of survivor Tim and Tiffany McPherson, owners of TNT Tacos, explodes on June the 4th, airlifted to Nashville for treatment. 30% of their body was burned. It was horrible. He run back in there and got his wife and saved her. He's going to be in here telling us what happened, where they started with their little concession trailer. There's pictures of it blew up there, what happened to blow up and what their plans are and how they're healing. There's some physical problems there with all these burns, but there's also mental problems. It's kind of like Jay, he's been in the military, he knows what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you come under fire, maybe you didn't get hit, but it still does something to you. And the same thing with these two people right here. It did something to these people. Let's find out their story. That's coming up Tuesday on the Mike Weatherford Show. Don't miss it, September 1st, 7 p.m. Thank y'all, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all coming in. Hey, we'll see you next time on Mike After Dark.
Good night.
Good night.